Hi guys, welcome to Wiki Movie Channel, and these are the top 7 new films about post-apocalyptic. By new, we mean movies that were released in the last couple of years, or a bit earlier, but which passed quietly, and many viewers most likely missed them. Also, before watching, we advise you to watch the first part of the top about post-apocalyptic on our channel. We think you will find something new to watch. You will find the link to the top in the descriptions below. Well, let's not waste any time and begin. Light of my life. About 8 years ago, a terrible epidemic wiped out almost the entire female population of the planet. A man travels through the deep forest of North America in search of better life with his 12-year-old daughter, who is immune to a terrible disease. The father, in every possible way, protects his daughter from the world, in which now there are only many feral men left. And to protect his child, the father passes her off as a boy. The film has a simple and interesting idea, which is implemented well in some places. However, the story is very slow, from which many viewers can simply get bored. It's noteworthy that this film is Casey Affleck's debut as director. In general, the movie cannot be called a failure, and therefore it will be interesting to see if Casey can achieve the same success as his older brother. 7th place. Light of my life. The Bad Batch. The world, and America in particular, is going through hard times. A social strata of society and people simply undesirable to the country are sent by authorities to the Texas desert, where they have to fight for their own lives. The same fate awaits the young girl Arlene, exiled to endless wilderness and forces to survive between a group of cannibals and drug-addicted party people. The main character tries to find her place in this life. This is an author's cinema, intended primarily for fans of festival products and art house. And although the movie was originally convinced as not for everyone, several Hollywood stars were attracted to the cast, such as Keanu Reeves, Jason Momoa, and Jim Carrey, played a small and unusual role here, in which it's rather difficult to recognize him. In addition to good cast, the movie also boasts an excellent soundtrack, which sets the tone and atmosphere of the entire film. 6th place. The Bad Batch. The Silence. Cavers exploring the cave system below the Appalachian Scott Passage and a close underground chamber and release ancient creatures that have lived there for a million years, resembling bats but large in size. Auditory-oriented creatures instantly scatter across the United States and begin to exterminate people. 16-year-old Ellie Anders and her family have to leave their hometown and go in search for a safe place. On the way, it turns out that the flying creatures are absolutely blind, but they are sensitive to sound, for example, to human speech. However, this is not a problem for Anders' family. They know sign language since Ellie lost her hearing 3 years ago. It's definitely not the best, but at the same time not bad movie. For one-time viewing, the movie is quite suitable. 5th place. The Silence. Turbo Kid. According to the plot, somewhere in the 80s, a nuclear collapse occurred and civilization fell. The film takes place a bit later, in 1997. By this time, the world had already turned into a scorched desert with the acid rain under nuclear winter. The main character is a teenager, aged between 16 and 17. He wanders through the wasteland, writes down new places in a notebook, and collects any junk which can be exchanged for water, food, or something else. He is also looking for comics about Turbo Racer, a superhero who fights against evil. One time, he meets a weird girl, dashing daredevil, and confronts a local gang leader named Zeez. This movie is a tribute to a bygone area and by its nature resembles the acclaimed short film Kung Fury. Trash, but definitely not bad, intended primarily for geeks and fans of 80s area. The movie is interesting to watch, at least as an experiment. 4th place. Turbo Kid. I think we're alone now. The actions take place in a ghost town with a single inhabitant and, in general, the last person on Earth, a librarian named Dell. At least he thought that, until he met Grace, who accidentally got in his town. Dell feels great in a new, dead world. He seems to be living a fuller life than before the mysterious unnamed accident that claimed the lives of the people in the world. The main character spends his days as he wants. He enters the houses, cleans them, and buries the already dried bodies of the former inhabitants. On the outskirts of the town, he built a cemetery where he takes out the corpses of the unfortunate, and in the evenings Dell reads books, drinks wine, and enjoys solitude. Everything changes when Grace comes to town. The movie is not a survivor horror, but rather an indie drama about relationship and loneliness. So you need to watch this tape in the right mood, and then you will mostly likely be satisfied from watching. Third place. I Think We're Alone Now. Bird Box. In the center of a plot is a catastrophe that befell humanity. Something sinister has invaded the human world and forces everyone to commit suicide by eye contact with something. The film shows the events taking place with the artist Mallory in two time periods at once. The first is the events of 5 years ago, the moment of the invasion, in the epicenter of which Mallory was found with her sister Jessica. The second is the parents, where Mallory with two 5-year-old children haven't heard on the radio about a safe place, goes in search of the surviving community, and takes birds with him in a box. To keep life in this new world, the most important thing is not to look around and listen how the birds react to the approaching danger. A spectacular and frightening horror came out that tells an interesting story and keeps you in suspense until the very end. Second place, Bird Box. A Quiet Place. The Abbott family is forced to live on a farm in complete silence. They walk on tiptoe and speak a sign language, occasionally allowing themselves only a barely audible whisper. It's all about alien creatures that attack the Earth with super sensitive hearing and quick reaction. Therefore, the parents of Lee and Evelyn are trying in every way to protect their children, Marcus, Regan, and Bo. However, soon there will be dramatic changes in their lives. Evelyn is expecting her fourth child. A really intense and interesting film, one of the best in the genre in recent years. An original idea, great production, and atmosphere. The perception of the film in a negative light would depend only how much you find fault with the subtitles of the script, since there are enough controversial and illogical moments. But if you don't pay attention to this, considering that this is the debut work of John Krasinski as director, then the film really deserves his marks. First place, A Quiet Place. Well, this is it. Thanks for watching. Share your movie impressions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and put the big thumbs up. See you. Bye.